friends. I wanted to talk to you today about, for social studies, about St. Patrick's Day. So today is St. Patrick's Day, and it's a holiday that several people observe. And so I'm showing you a globe right now because I wanted you to see where the holiday originated. So we live right about, let me find this, right about there. See where it says Houston? There's Texas on the globe, and so we live right about there. So if we wanted to go where the story originated about St. Patrick, then we would have to get on a plane, and we may have to go on a couple of different planes, and we would fly across the Atlantic Ocean. See, here's the Atlantic Ocean. We would fly across the Atlantic Ocean to this island up here. See where it's pink? That's Ireland, and then the purple is England, okay? So both of those countries are important in the story about St. Patrick. So many years ago, there was a young boy named Maywen who lived in Britain, okay? So in the purple area. He lived in Britain, and a long time ago, countries would fight with each other, and he was taken a prisoner and taken from Britain to Ireland. And while he was there, his job was to take care of sheep. He was like a sheep herder. And so every single day he would pray that he would be saved. And 6 years he worked taking care of those sheep when finally he escaped. And he went back to his home in Britain. Okay, so he went back to his home. He had to cross the water, didn't he? There's water in between there. So he had to, I'm sure it was very scary, and he had to be very brave to do that. And when he got back home, he was like, what am I going to be when I grow up? And he thought and he thought and he thought about it. And so he decided that he wanted to be a priest. A priest is like a preacher. And so to be a priest, he went to France. So this is the country of France. He went to France to study to be a preacher, a priest. And so he had always thought about going back to Ireland, where he had been taken when he was kidnapped or when he was taken by the other people, and he wanted to preach to those people. And so he did go to France, and he became a priest. And when he became a priest, his name was changed from Maywen to Patrick. Okay? So then he did go to Ireland, and he was so kind and so good. He built churches, he built schools, and the people just loved him. And so he lived for many years in Ireland, and when he died on March the 17th. And so that's why March 17th is celebrated St. Patrick's Day, because that's the day that St. Patrick died. So lots of people a long time ago, they started coming from Ireland, and they came across the ocean. Remember, a long time ago, they didn't have airplanes, so people came on ships. And so they would sail on these ships for a better life, and they would come across the ocean, and they would come to America. And when they came to America, they brought a lot of their traditions and their holidays with them. And so that's how St. Patrick's holiday made its way over to America. And so every year, people celebrate St. Patrick on this day, March the 17th. People wear green. Green is one of the colors for Ireland. Ireland's nickname is called the Emerald Isle. And emerald is a beautiful color, green. Also, a long time ago, when St. Patrick was alive, and years after he was not here on the earth anymore, farmers would take green branches and they would burn them, and then they would take the ash from the burnt branches and put them in their fields, in their gardens, like fertilizer. So that's one of the reasons that we wear green for St. Patrick's Day, in memory of those things. Also, the shamrock, right? The shamrock, you see that everywhere. St. Patrick used the shamrock when he was preaching. And so that's why the shamrock is very important and associated with St. Patrick's Day. So in America, there are parades, people have parties, people dance, and so you can ask your mom and dad to take you on a YouTube visit to. You can just Google in Irish dancing and see those dances. When I was little, I used to pretend that I was a great Irish dancer. Miss Owens' family, my dad's family, is from Ireland. And so my name before I got married to Mr. Owens was Gallagher. And so Gallagher is a very, very Irish name. So lots of families have connections all the way over to that little tiny island of Ireland. Someday I'm going to go there. Someday. But I will have to be brave and get on planes and fly across the ocean. So I just wanted to share a little bit of history today with you during social studies time about the history of St. Patrick's Day. I had put on the list of books to read that you could Google. There's a book by the name of St. Patrick's Day by Gail Gibbons. Gail Gibbons loves to write nonfiction books. Although most of the books that we think about when they're nonfiction, we always think about having real photographs to teach us things. But Gail Gibbons likes to write and illustrate her own books. And so although her books are nonfiction, she enjoys doing the illustrations. So excuse me, you can YouTube this book and listen to it. And it has some of the information that Miss Owens shared with you. And there's a lot more information in that book. So I hope that you enjoyed today's social studies lesson. Thanks, friends.